didn't faze her. I'll miss Bert and never forget her. And said a lot of people had a lot of nice things to say here. Meadowwood, Dad wrote down a few here that he'd like me to read. This is from Maxine Cooper. My deepest sympathies with you at this difficult time. Sorry for your loss, but at the same time I feel comfort in knowing dear Bert is no longer confined in a body that has become too limited for her dynamic spirit. I bless her, and she takes the next steps to the path of life eternal. Howard Mellinger was very sorry to learn of Roberta's premature death, even more difficult than caring for a spouse with dementia must be living without the loved one's presence and being denied the opportunity to continue to take care of her. You have my sympathy, comfort knowing that you did all that was humanly possible to care for her while she was alive. Jean Herman. I've known Roberta only a short time, but long enough to find her possessed of a generous and refreshing spirit. Our bond was that I had met her lovely mother and had one of her pictures had been left behind in the art room. I shall miss her. Thank you for letting us come into your circle. And Joan Grace. Dave and Daniel felt their mother's caring way as well as her practical wisdom. They will always keep in their hearts the memory of how she influenced their lives forever. As a friend, I would be honored to be called. I realize what a special person Bert was on many visits and sharing heartwarming conversations and laughter with the everyday news. Her love of birds and animals showed her tenderness, and they were always close to her heart. I have a few things to say, just kind of on the lighter side. Those of you who knew our family growing up, Mom and I we shared a common personality trait of being extremely blockheaded. We were really very stubborn people. Mom and I had a lot of fights. I know people who have known us for a long time would know that. She threw a few frying pans at me, and we really got into some pretty bad battles. But the important thing was that we always made up afterwards. And a few hours later, we'd be talking again until our next fight. But, that was an important thing that we always, we never held grudges, and I think that's really important. Another thing that I owe a lot to Mom. I've been diabetic pretty much my whole life, and part of Mom's personality was constantly nagging me to eat when I'm supposed to eat, and again, we would butt heads about that, and I'd throw my food and run out to the bedroom and slam the door. But because of her persistence about that, that's probably why I've remained as healthy as I have my whole life. Pretty, almost no complications, and I owe a lot of that to Mom's persistence in my health. And then also with the celiac, I got celiac, and Mom was able to help me learn about that, and so that really wasn't a big deal to me. So, again, I know she loved everybody here, and she'll miss everybody here. Just looking over at everybody here.
Is Ruth Hadershaw here? Where's Ruth Hadershaw?
I need to say it louder so they can hear it.
Ruth Hadershaw?
Ruth Hadershaw.
Is he saying me?
Ruth?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
down.
I would like to give a special time.
They're going to give you a mic. They're going to give you the microphone.
No, they'll bring you a mic.
Here.
Like the Price is Right.
Thank you. That sounds
Like you're eating a light ice cream roll.
All right. Well, this was a special time in my life when I really needed a friend. Bert and I had known each other for a long time, of course, but the friendship really came about because Harry and Joe were friends. They were working on a special project of their own, and one day Bert invited me and Harry to come and have dinner with them. It was a great time together. Bert was a good cook. We enjoyed the dinner, and in the conversation afterwards, we discovered that we had a lot of interests in common. Bert developed to be one of my best friends, serious and sincere. And Joe was a good friend too, serious and sincere, adding his own lighter touch. Well, the time that was so important to me, the time after Harry's celebration of life service, seemed awfully empty. Family went home. Friends who had come a great distance went home. My friends here in Bloomington had many important obligations to fulfill. And that's as it should be. We are told life must go on, you know. Well, it was Bert who called me every week, asking if I was getting along all right, offering to bring me anything I needed, and just to have a friendly conversation. And I appreciated this more than I can say. Now, you already know that Bert was involved in teaching at St. Charles School. And you probably don't know some of the inner workings of that. And I have some information from friends who studied cello with Bert at that time. The students made good progress, and that made the parents very supportive and enthusiastic. And Bert also made a tremendous contribution to their orchestral program. I have that from another good friend too, Marion Bates, who told me that Sister Virginia Marie declared Bert's contributions to be vital. Bert, in the orchestra programs, would do things like helping the string students get in tune for the concert. And if a student was studying the music some other time and didn't understand the composer's instructions as printed on the music, Bert could translate that for him too. And Bert played a very practical role in having the students put their music back where it belonged so that it was always ready for the next concert. And Bert conducted many concerts herself, always with great success. I can picture Bert taking care of her cello students and taking care of the students in the orchestra with the same care that she gave to me. My memories of Bert's caring friendship will last as long as I do.
Thank you, Ruth. If anyone else would like to contribute some words? Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lana Eisenberg, and I had regular contact with Bert only for a few years while I was studying cello as an adult back in the middle 70s. The cello had been my ideal of an instrument, and Bert was recommended to me as a fine teacher. And she brought to this, 32-year-old beginning cello student tremendous respectfulness and care, and I thought she was a wonderful teacher. I just thought I'd throw in that not only did she help along someone who was otherwise perhaps unpromising material as a student, she also took a shepherding attitude toward me as a person, which is entirely consonant with everything we've heard so far. I was at the time a single parent, a graduate student with 2 kids, and her view was that I ought to be married. And she very tactfully and gently and sweetly encouraged me to join a singles group that she had heard about from another friend, and was very, very interested that I should pursue this. It didn't work out in that particular case. I was fortunate to find my life's partner some years later, but that extra care for a student who, in her opinion, needed a loving companion, I took as very, very kind indeed.